Hi there, this is Dr. John Whitcomb talking about the Fast Mimicking Diet 5 and cancer. Last week we talked about the amazing effect of diabetes, but the effect on cancer is almost as remarkable. Here's the general concept. Cancer cells aren't healthy. They take a couple mutations to really get going, and they're really hanging on by their fingertips. And they're very inefficient at burning glucose, so they desperately need large amounts of it. What Longo observed was several very interesting effects, and he called it his magic shield. Now, cancer cells, when you go through fasting, regular cells, in a sense, recognize the stress, and they have the ability to hunker down and protect themselves. Cancer cells can't do that. It's as though cancer cells are like race cars with their accelerators stuck to the floor, and they're just zooming along. And that makes a couple things happen. They become much more vulnerable to the stress of fasting. Now, how do you prove that? Well, you can prove that by, well, for now, what we've done is Dr. Longo has had some of his graduate students give chemotherapy to mice who were either fasting or not fasting. The not fasting mice all got sick, and 65% of them were dead a couple of weeks later, whereas the mice that were fasting did just fine. And when they had lung cancer in a second experiment and given chemotherapy, they had a dramatic increase in remission rate. So in a sense, there are two effects going on that Longo points to. One is you make the cancer much more vulnerable to external stresses such as chemotherapy. And the other is you're probably turning on your immune system and rejuvenating it through the reactivation of stem cells. So the net effect of this, if I had cancer, well, what would work for me? Well, if I had cancer, I would be doing this every month. In fact, there's now some preliminary evidence that you should probably do it for about 2 days before and 2 days into your chemotherapy, but certainly not without the approval of your oncologist and a doctor cooperating with you. In my own practice, I've had multiple patients come to me and ask me how to do this, and I said I will be happy to observe them acutely through their process of chemotherapy. To me, this is a very exciting advance, and if you're in the terrible hot spot of having cancer, please think about how you can get it done. So this is Dr. John Whitcomb talking about Fast Mimicking Diet 5 from, can you guess where? Fort Myers Beach. Aren't I lucky I got to be here for 5 days?